Hi everybody, 21st of July and another day in my daily diaries of looking after my wife with Parkinson's and dementia. This morning I got Angie up sort of for give her 8 o'clock tablets and got her up because today's the day she goes to the daycare centre. Didn't want to get up at all. Well, I'll start last night. Got her to bed on couch last night again, very restless. I was on the phone to one of my grandsons, chatting to him for a while, and he heard me, getting Angie. She got at one point, just sat on the end and fell off. Just sat on the end of the couch and fell forward. Nearly bashed her head on the side of the coffee table. Again, just wasn't with it at all. But she wasn't with it all day yesterday, right from getting up yesterday morning. She was, camera kept going a couple of times, so 3 times I caught her on the camera, sat on the edge of the bed, just holding onto the bed rail. So of course go in, because I don't want her trying to get off the bed then and falling. Right, Angie, come on, what are you doing? Are you getting up? No, I'm trying to turn over. So, right, okay, so we're lying her down and putting her back and covering her, but she was wet through again, soaking wet. So that happened 3 times. She sat on the edge of the bed, and then I got her back in bed at one point, and will you hold my hand? Will you hold my hand? She said at one point. Now she's doing that a few times lately. So I'm stood there holding her hand. Well, I tried to shuffle the sat on the side of the edge of the bed slightly. Well, she wasn't sleeping. She was fidgeting. Hand was going. She kept squeezing my hand, and legs were going, and. Anyway, so I eventually left her anyway, so I ended up getting her up at 10:15 for a breakfast, because I said we was going to get out yesterday regardless, but she was totally out of it yesterday, and so she managed to eat half a breakfast herself, but then I had to feed the rest of her. She got the calendar all wrong, the 4 people on the calendar picture apart from myself. She got 2 of the names wrong, and the other one, baby Ali, I don't know. But again, I don't know, she was just out of it completely. Then got a message off granddaughter, they'll come over. So right, let's say, so they come over and we went out for something to eat in a local carvery somewhere. But again, she managed to eat, well, she ate left about a third of her. She only had scampi and chips and something nice and easy, you see, for her to eat. Can't be giving her a carvery anymore because it'd just be everywhere. It was bad enough with the mushy peas yesterday. So, but she left about a third of it, which over the last few days that's becoming the norm, really. Not eating it all. Again, very, very slow to eat it, but again, I didn't need to feed her, so that's one plus. We went from there up to the cafe on the promenade, where I am sort of just been now, where I go on my Monday morning, because it's nice and handy for sit in the cafe or just outside the cafe and watch the kids on the beach, and there's a little water fountain and stuff. So again, she sat there with her eyes closed. She could have been sat anywhere. Granddaughter and her fella Joe was with us, and then I went for a walk on the beach with the little fella. I'd only gone for 10 minutes, but just something simple like that, I just thoroughly enjoyed it. And I thought I was mad. I enjoy going out with the kids anyway, but I enjoyed just that 10 minutes away of not watching what she's doing or wondering what she's doing. It's weird, it's strange. And then went back to our house, but that was it. Her eyes were closed and she didn't know what was going on. I gave her some pasta that I'd made the other day for her tea. Again, she ate some of it, then I had to feed her. She probably ate a third of it, then I'm feeding her the rest, and then she didn't want to finish it again. So I'm going to ask today at the daycare centre whether she eats all her lunch today, because I'm beginning to think now that might be becoming the norm, where she's leaving food now, which I don't want, because up until now she's always ate what she can, and wolfed it down. So I'm hoping for, for a positive today. They say yeah, she's actually, so I don't know what I'm going to give her for the tea yet, but obviously I'm going to start taking notes on that one. But when she was eating the pasta, it was everywhere. All down her bib, all over the floor, on the table, all over her pants, even on a white sock, because she kicked her shoes off. And when I was undressing her later, there was all pasta stains all over her white socks. So it's just, I don't know. And she, like I said, she left, wouldn't eat about a third of it again. And then last night, people keep asking about, because she keeps sweating, get her checked if she's got a urinary infection, because it can cause the sweats. But no, she hasn't. She's had that checked ages ago, but it's symptoms of the Parkinson's. It's the inability to control their own body temperature. So when they start fidgeting, it's like doing a vigorous exercise for the likes of me and you, soaking wet. Like I said the other day, her hair looked like I'd washed it. It was that wet. What I did do last night, because she started the sweating on the couch when I was talking to Ransom on the phone. I leaned her forward and the back of the couch was wet, and I'd taken the pyjamas off, so she was just sat there in just her underwear, no top or anything. So I put a pyjama top behind her, but it was wet through. So I've got an ice pack in the freezer, so I got that out, put that on her back, and that cooled her right down, and I did it on her arm, back of her neck, down her front. So that helped, that really helped. So when I went, she actually said to me at one point, I want to go to bed, and that was about 10:30. So that was good. I didn't tell him twice. So I took the ice pack thing with us to bed, and I put it on the bed first while I was getting it ready. So of course it was damp, but I thought it don't matter. So I lay it down and then just put it on a few places, and then I left it so she could lie her head on it. And I just went in half an hour after and just took it away, because it warmed up by then, but the sheet was wet through again. The rest of her body had sweated that much. So again, took the sheet off, put a clean sheet on. During the night, well, I've took the bedding. I've got up this morning, I've took the sheets off again, the two sheets, the one's covering her and the one she's lay on, because the one she's covers her with, she gets wrapped up in it, so that ends up underneath her as well, so that's wet through. So I got that out on the line early this morning, but the forecast was supposed to be bad, so I brought it in before we set off for the day centre. We set off about 9:15. And look at the weather here now, it's gorgeous. So I've got damp sheets hanging about the house at the minute. Get back, so I don't know if they'll be dry, I don't know. Well, they're going to have to go back on the bed later, because one's in the wash, the other, I've got 3. So I've got 2 that's dry, one's in the washer. I don't know, you couldn't make this up, could you? Yeah, when the Parkinson's nurse was here the other day, and I was talking about the sweating and that, and she said that she can, if needed, if it gets too bad. And I thought, well, it is pretty bad now. She can have some Botox injections. And so her first reaction was she'd end up with a face like this. So she laughed. She said, no, she's injected into her stomach, because you automatically think of Botox, don't you, with these celebrities and stuff, with the plastic ironed face, should we say, stretched out face. She said, no, you have it injected into the stomach, and also it can help with the eyes closed thing. So she said, well, we'll consider it a bit later down the line, but I need to do a bit of reading about that, because we've got to wait for the consultation about this tube being inserted either down her throat or in the stomach or something, so she can be fed when the time comes. I don't know, so she's losing the ability to focus on things. And well, I put her tablets in my hand. Hey, and you get your tablets. She can't look down, and she's fiddling with her hand trying to find the tablets on my hand. She does it with her food. She's got a spoon and she's chasing food, or she's got like, she thinks she's got it and she's got an empty spoon. It's like she's losing the ability to focus on things. That's when her eyes are open. So when her eyes are closed, you no chance. But even when her eyes are open, it's like a fixed look. But she can't, you know. It's strange. It's absolutely madness. This disease, it's horrible. It's horrible. The amount of things it causes, and I don't know. I don't want to think the worst, because I mean all these things are getting worse. What she's suffering with, and at some point, I don't know. I just don't want to think down that line here. I can't think further down the line where it's going to go, or I don't want to, shall we say? So. Yeah. This was during the night. Like I said, I got in bed. I went back when I put her in bed. I went back and rang the grandson back again, and had a good chat with him, chatting about all sorts. We phoned for about 2 hours, which was nice. They say once we get this new place with this extra bedroom, they'll all come up, and stay over, during the week, even not just our weekends, so give me a hand, none of them said give me a break, just give me a hand, so, but no, that'll be great. So I can't wait now, can't wait. I've just drove past one of the nurses at the day centre. Her granddad's selling his bungalow, but it is only a 2-bedroom. But she said, but they're 2 big rooms. So I got the address. So I've drove past one way here. Lovely looking from the front. So I might get to have a look inside and just see what I can refigure, something like that. Because it's really nice area, and really nice frontage to it. Really nice. Yeah. Oh, so during the night, when I'd got in bed, she was lay on her back again. So I put a towel under this time to try and keep the sheet dry, because I thought she's going to be lying on a wet sheet. That's going to make her cold, if anything. So at one point I heard all this that's what she does. She's like a grunting moan type of thing. Not when she falls in, just constantly. So I heard this, and I woke up and thought she's awake. I turned to one side to look. She wasn't in bed. So of course I shot out of bed, run around the side, and she's on the floor by the side of the bed, but still holding on to the side of the bed rail, and her arm was all twisted. I thought, well, if she'd have fell any more to one side, she'd have broke her arm or broke her shoulder. It'd have twisted or pulled her arm out of the. And I thought, that was at R2 this morning. So then I'm trying to lift her back, get her up. Again, she's soaking up, drying her down. This is all that bastard Parkinson's. It's all Parkinson's. That's what it is. Everything. Horrible disease. So I don't know what she's been like. I was when I dropped her off at the centre this morning, even Karen, the worker, says, is she asleep? I said, well, it's either her eyes are closed, but I don't know if she's asleep or what. But she's not opened her eyes really since I woke her up. She'll mutter and she'll repeat things. Right, Angie, come on, let's get in a wheelchair. And then she'll mutter, get me in a wheelchair, get me in a wheelchair, get me in a wheelchair. And she just repeats it's like a comfort thing again. I know I've said all this a few times, but again, and I'm just getting all this off my chest while I'm sat here in the sun. Like I said, it's a gorgeous day. Lovely sat along here. Best thing we ever did. The only wrong thing not moving here is we didn't do it years ago, because Angie only got like 6 months to enjoy this really. Horrible disease, horrible. Right, so I'm going to pick her up in a bit. I'm going to go for a bit of lunch now. I've had my coffee and my walk. Go for get a sandwich or something and just chill. Sat for a couple of hours and then go and pick her up about 3:15, and then we go over to her sister's again for a cuppa. See if she'll conversate or open her eyes for the sister, and then we get home and see what tonight brings. Right, I've ordered one of them ceiling fans and all that plug, because we have the fan, you know, in the bedroom, but I had it on last night. But again, you've got that whirring noise. But I've ordered one of them you put in your light socket, in your light fitting on the ceiling. It's like a bulb. So I'm hoping that's going to come any day now. See how they're quiet or leave. So it's over the top of the bed. So we'll see. I just keep trying all sorts. So I don't know whether that'll work. I'm in the Parkinson's is making a, you know, do the sweat. So, but every little every little helps, as they say. Right, that's I would think a bit of a long one. This. Let me have a look at the clock. Yeah. So I'm going to get off.